All right, so the next stop on our tour is the lovely Sage Mausoleum, and then off in the distance, the Oakland Bell Tower. Don't you all just love a well designed building? Notice the classicism of this building. It's Palladian in style, with its strong pediment, Doric columns, and symmetrical lines. And that fine building of Romanesque revival build features quintessential crenellations, reminiscent of medieval Europe and arcading with intricate decor. Truly a lovely highlight here in the gardens of Oakland Cemetery. Now, I am Alexander D.Hamilton, and I'm an architect. I love to build. I'm not to be confused with Alexander Hamilton from that Broadway musical and You love so much. Nor am I to be confused with my father, my son, my grandson, my uncle. Well, you get it. We love to pass a name down. It builds a firm foundation. Now, I was born to Alexander Sr. and Martha Coker on November 24, 1870, and I was born enslaved. My parents were both enslaved from North Carolina and sold to Alabama. The Scottish enslavers were carpenters, and they taught the enslaved the skill, but we made it into the family profession. We build together. Oh, and you passed by Austell Mausoleum, did you not? What a beauty, an architectural marvel, even for the dead. Yes, it's Gothic revival style based on 12th through 14th century construction. Its classic spire, that finial, it's got a Greek cross plan. Is there anything in the world prettier? I'm sorry. What was I saying? I attended Atlanta University for 3 years, and then I joined my father's firm in 1890. We were A. Hamilton and Son, truly a family business. You might even say we built a lot of this great city. Yes. Now, I didn't graduate from Atlanta University, but my time there was well spent. I met and courted a beautiful young woman named Nellie Cook, who I married in 1892, and we had 2 daughters and 5 sons. You see, it took those extra 2 years to convince Nellie that the foundation I was building was worth her partnering with me for. But that's what was so important about our work. We were building this city together, as business owners, as architects, as builders, and as family members. We contributed to the growth and culture of Atlanta. From the Atlanta University complex to the Sweet Auburn neighborhood, our work is everywhere. And we're proud of it too, especially in a city that doesn't have the best track record of caring for its oldest buildings. And speaking of caring for old things, I'm sure that you've seen many of the shapes and forms of the cemetery during your walk with us this evening. Did you know that obelisks, like that one pointing up right there, are symbols of the sun god Ra? They're shaped like sunbeams coming down from the heavens, and they're from ancient Egypt. But I digress. Oakland has a tour about the art and architecture of death. You can learn more about it there. You're here tonight to speak to the dead. I do get distracted surrounded by such beauty. Now, we built mostly houses. You might have heard of the Delbridge Hamilton Apartments or the ABC Shotgun Homes or Linton Hopkins House in Ansley Park. Talk about a historic beauty that never should have been torn down. We also built some of Atlanta's most prominent buildings, such as Robert Hall at Morehouse, Leet Hall, which some of you may now know as George Washington Carver High School, Ma Hutton's Restaurant, and Black City Hall, the Butler YMCA. We also even built our own family home. That's right. And we also rebuilt Big Bethel Church with J.A. Langford after the 1923 fire, and we put the Jesus Saves sign right at the top. In addition, we also built our own family home. Indeed, our Hamilton Howell home, which is right down the street from where Dr. Martin Luther King was born on Auburn Avenue, was even featured in W.E.B. Du Bois' The Evolution of the Negro Home. It's actually a bed and breakfast. You can go and stay there now. In fact, it's right down the street. You should tell them I sent you. Well, don't tell them a dead guy sent you. Tell them that you learned about me here. Now, how's that for shaking the foundations? Now, I know that Oakland Cemetery may be one of the city's oldest places, but there is always something interesting and wonderful happening on these sacred grounds, and I know how each and every one of you can help. That's right. The Oakland Cemetery Capital Campaign is now in full swing. marking the single largest investment in this old, beautiful, historic place ever. So if you have a spare penny in your pocket, please think about dropping it in the bucket or using one of the donation forms to make a donation. You all know that caring for old things is very expensive work. So please be generous if you can. Every dollar that you donate tonight will go into the rehabilitation of Oakland's East Hill and the restoration of our beautiful bell tower and even a little bit of new construction. And you know that piqued my interest. A new visitor center that we will build outside the gates of Oakland will allow the people in Oakland to tell the stories here in new and engaging ways for the next 170 years. Now, how's that for building a firm foundation? Well, my friends, I'm sure that I speak for all at Oakland when I thank you so very much for your support, and I wish you all the very, very safest journey home. And remember, friends, there is always a wealth of beauty to notice here at Oakland and so many wonderful stories to hear. So thank you so very much for your time and have a wonderful, wonderful trip home. Thank you and good night. Thank you so much, friends.